So now I'm on the way to the doctors. On the way, I've not even left the house yet, but I'm going to the doctors to collect my progesterone. I wasn't going to do it. I feel that I've read all the reviews about it, about taking progesterone, and basically it's meant to help prevent miscarriages, which it didn't last time, but I think I was toying with the idea of not taking it, but then I thought, if something happens and I haven't taken it, I might beat myself up about it, whereas if I have taken it and something happens, then there's nothing really else that could be done. I can't beat myself up about that because it's not going to cause anything to happen, so I'm better just taking it, which is a bit annoying because I didn't really want to have to kind of think about it like this. You know, I can't explain, sorry, I'm just getting in the car. I didn't want to have to think about it 3 times a day. Oh, am I still pregnant? Oh, I feel like it's a constant reminder that this could end, but it won't. We've got to think positive. It might, but it won't. I just need to think that this time maybe is my time. Maybe I wasn't ready before because I've just lost the twins, etc. And maybe today is the day. Today is the day. This year is the year. In fact, it won't even be this year. Next year is the year. Hopefully. Hello. So, been to the doctors, and this is the progesterone that we are to start.
I know you're going to put it in your fairy.
George knows I'm going to put it in my fairy because he's heard me talking about it. Yeah, so basically 3 times a day. First thing in the morning, lunchtime, lovely lunch, and then evening. 3 times a day into said fairy. So I have inserted the first progesterone. I've taken 2 baby aspirin, and it's, what time is it? It's 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and I am absolutely zonked. I've got a meal with my friend tonight in Lytham, and yeah, I don't actually know how I'm going to be able to keep my eyes open while I'm there. But yeah, feeling good. I'm going to try and get a rest. George has come home from school kicking off, so that was a challenge. And George, what are you doing? What are you doing? Right. Honestly, he's in one of those moods tonight. He's very tired, but won't admit that he's tired. So he's just kicking off. Anyway, so that's where I'm up to. So the progesterone is 3 a day. So I'm going to do morning, night, and probably about after school time. I can't really insert it in the middle of my office that I share with other people. I mean, I could go to the toilet and do it, but I think you have to lie down afterwards for 30 minutes. Sounds great, doesn't it, really? But yeah, so see how that goes. So I'm going to meet my friend. It's going to be very hard trying to explain why I'm not having a wine, but I am, even though she is one of my favourite people ever. I'm going to keep this news to myself. It's so hard, isn't it? Because I feel like so unsafe telling people. Like, I feel like as soon as I tell people, it's not mine anymore. And then it's like every time I've told people before, something bad's happened. So I'm going to try and keep this one to myself. Really looking forward to eating what I want. Obviously going to avoid certain foods like prawns, seafood, etc. Probably being overcautious, but some would say. But I'm just too scared to do anything that may cause any problems. So wish me luck. Good morning. It is day 2. Day 2 out of, hopefully, well, I can't do that much maths, to be honest with you, but I'm not very good at maths. But basically, I just wanted to pop on this morning. So I woke up this morning desperate for a wee. Really didn't want to go because every pregnancy that I've had has been linked to blood. So with George, I started bleeding around halfway, which was obviously, you know, for that warning signs. With the twins, started bleeding really early on. Not loads of blood, just like So before I even knew they were twins, I started bleeding. And so then obviously I lost those at 16 weeks. And then I started bleeding, obviously, with the next one, which was a miscarriage, randomly. And then obviously with the one after that, I started bleeding as well. So every pregnancy has been linked with me being terrified to go for a wee. So this morning I woke up and I needed a wee, and I was like, oh God, I'm going to go. Am I still pregnant? Because it's like, I don't know if you've ever been pregnant before, but it's like when you go for a scan, you feel really safe that day, you know, definitely for the hour afterwards, 2 hours after. And slowly that safeness kind of slowly diminishes. And then you start to think, that's in the past now. So am I going to be okay? It's a bit like this pregnancy test that I took yesterday. It's almost like, right, okay, I took that yesterday, and yesterday I was. I wonder if I still am today. So I woke up feeling a bit icky, to be fair, but that could be anything. Sometimes you just do feel like that, don't you? I'm only 4 weeks. I think it's just nerve-wracking when you've had so many losses before. I just want this time to be different. I was tempted before to go and get another test from the shop and do it again, but I'm not going to, because I just think I'd overanalyze lines. Is it dark enough? Is it light enough? And just send myself into worry. So I'm going to try and not do that and just carry on as I'm going. I'm just thinking I am until I see otherwise. So week 4 of the pregnancy has been enjoyable but tough. It's nice to actually, I'm not going to tell anyone. I've told one of my friends. She's been through this kind of thing before, so she totally understands. And then I don't feel stupid asking her stupid questions like 24/7. But other than that, I'm not telling anyone. I just feel like I just want to enjoy this to myself for a while. And then if it ends, then I've still enjoyed every day. Do you know what I mean? So at the moment, I'm feeling fairly positive about this pregnancy. I think my mindset is a lot better than it was previously. But then ask me in half an hour and I'll say, I don't feel that way. So basically the way it's been going this last few weeks, last few days, is I got the progesterone from the doctor. So I now have to insert that 3 times a day. I have to take 2 baby aspirin a day. And I'm just starving all the time. So look at my belly. Right, let me just, it's definitely, I mean, it's the size of a poppy seed. This is the progesterone doing this to me, not the actual baby bump, but have a look. It's just making me really bloated. Look at it. That's what it does. So it's been a bit, yeah, it's just making me super hungry. But to be honest, I'm not going to care about my weight and all that. I don't care. The only thing that I'm struggling with at the moment, well, the only thing, a few things, is I'm struggling going for a wee. Every time I go for a wee, and this progesterone as well, like when you put it in, it comes back out, obviously it's like chalky white. So if I'll be out at the shops, I feel like something come out a bit. And then I'm like, oh my God, I bet that's blood. But you know when you're like in a shop where you can't go to the bathroom and you can't do anything, like my heart's racing and I'm just thinking, where do I go? Where do I go? I'm going to have to get home. So then I'll drive home. I mean, I've left the shopping the other day to drive home to just check if I'm bleeding, and I wasn't. But I think that's going to be a long thing, because with the twins, I suppose losing them around the 16-week scan mark, I don't feel like 12 weeks will be safe enough for me. I don't even think I'd feel safe at 16 weeks. So it's really tough, really. But I'm grateful. Do you know what? I'm really, really grateful. And if this ends, then, you know, I've got to carry another little bean that you just love straight away, don't you? You know? So it's like we've just moved house. So there's the spare room, which is the fourth bedroom, and I said to Danny the other week, look, let's just, obviously we wanted a baby in that room, but that wasn't, happening. So I said, let's make that into a double like spare room, guest room for people coming to stay. So we did that. And then now every time I keep looking at it, I keep thinking, oh, I wonder where a cot would go. And I have to stop myself because it just, it might not progress, it might, and I hope it does, but it might not. So I just have to be trying to distance myself from it a little bit, but also enjoy it, If it was to end next week, then at least I can say I've enjoyed it until it ended. Do you know what I mean? Because if I start getting pregnancy tests, like I feel the need for it, but then I think, but then I know it's ended again. And then I've got to deal with the sadness. So I'd rather just deal with the sadness when it comes, if it comes, hopefully it won't come, and deal with it at that moment instead of torturing myself. I think I'm 4 weeks, 5 days today. The progesterone, pessary, I haven't really had loads of symptoms this week. Obviously bloating. I felt a bit nauseous one night. Not sore boobs, felt tired, and I've been having like dizzy spells, but it's hard because they're all also linked to progesterone, so I don't know what's real and what's not. So anyway, it's very early though. A lot of people at 4 weeks don't often know because it's just like, oh, my period's a bit late. I mean, if you're anything like me, before I was actually trying for a baby, I didn't even know my cycle. I never even knew my cycle. For years and years and years, I could have been late every blooming month. But this last year when we've been trying, obviously I've been logging things a bit closer, and even then, they've been a bit varied. Yeah. Hopefully. I just keep thinking about Christmas, because if the baby's due after Christmas, this is my problem, you see. I'm like, oh wow, at Christmas, I'll be like nearly ready to drop, which is super exciting. But then I just really keep picturing myself at Christmas thinking, please be there with a big bump, but who knows. I did see something that a lady put on one of these forums that really helped me, and she's had a miscarriage before, and she said that every time she worries, she just says to herself, different egg, different sperm, different pregnancy. And I thought that's such a good way to think, because I've had more losses than I have living children. I've had more bad experiences than good, so I suppose I'm used to it being a bad experience, pregnancy, but I'm just thankful that I'm pregnant at the moment, and hopefully it will stay that way. I'm really hoping that I can get a scan early. I rang the pregnancy unit at Blackpool Victoria Hospital, and I'm on a rainbow pathway, which means they give you a bit more kind of attention in terms of like looking after you through your pregnancy, because they know how nerve-wracking it can be. And I actually get an early scan, they've said, if I ring up between 6.5 weeks and 7 weeks. So that would be in 2 weeks' time. I'd be able to get that scan. To be honest with you, I'm very nervous about getting scanned. Every scan that I've had, the last 3 scans that I've had have been confirming the worst. Yeah, that frightens me a little bit. I said to Danny, I was like, I just want to put headphones in, shut my eyes, and then like just wait, because it's that silence. It's that silence in between putting the thing on and then, like checking everything. Just really hoping that this one's okay. So yeah, so week 4 of pregnancy has been lovely, scary, exciting and terrifying. But I'm really hoping that I will be able to share this with you guys soon, when I feel confident enough to.